On Sunday, June 15th, right on Father's Day, a powerful earthquake surprised the residents of Lima and Callao, generating scenes of panic, property damage, and, sadly, the loss of a life. At 11:35 a.m., the Peruvian Geophysical Institute recorded a magnitude 6.1 earthquake, with its epicenter located offshore, 30 kilometers southwest of Callao and a depth of 49 kilometers. The quake, which struck the country's central coast, was particularly intense in various districts of the capital and the main port, forcing thousands of people to evacuate buildings and enclosed spaces as the ground shook beneath their feet. The streets of districts such as Miraflores, San Miguel, Cirquillo, La Victoria, and Chorrillos quickly filled with alarmed people seeking safe areas in the open air. In high-rise buildings, the sensation was even more intense, with reports from residents who claimed to feel walls, ceilings, and objects moving, many of which fell to the ground due to the force of the earthquake. The scene was especially dramatic in shopping centers, clinics, bus terminals, and transportation stations, where normal Sunday activity transformed into widespread chaos in a matter of seconds. Testimonies from residents of Callao, particularly in areas such as La Punta and Bella Vista, reflect the terror that gripped the population. Some reported feeling like everything was collapsing, while others ran down the stairs to leave buildings in the middle of a family outing. The commotion quickly spread through social media, where dozens of people shared videos of the shaking from supermarkets, workplaces, streets, and homes. The images showed shelves falling, people screaming, and alarms going off in various enclosed spaces. The intensity of the earthquake was assessed between levels 4 and 6 on the Mercalli scale, indicating a moderate to strong event capable of causing damage to vulnerable structures. Some outlying districts, such as 8 and San Juan de Lurigancho, also reported considerable shaking, although of lesser intensity. In many areas, residents noticed falling objects and small cracks in walls, causing a wave of fear about possible aftershocks or future major seismic events. Sadly, the quake left one fatality. In the district of Independencia, a 37-year-old man died after a wall collapsed on him while he was walking along a street. The wall belonged to a 4-story building located in the El Ermitaño area and was visibly deteriorated. The collapse occurred next to a motorcycle taxi, which was also partially destroyed. The scene was devastating and generated great consternation among the residents who witnessed the event. In addition to the deceased, at least 4 people were reported injured, mostly from falls or from the impact of objects that fell during the earthquake. Several people were treated by General Fire Department personnel, while emergency crews inspected the material damage. In the district of Comas, a staircase partially collapsed onto a vehicle, which fortunately left no victims, but did cause great fear in the area. Some important public spaces also suffered minor damage. At the La Llorona police station in San Juan de Lurigancho, part of the roof collapsed, while several schools reported cracks in classrooms and perimeter walls. In shopping centers in North and East Lima, such as Plaza Norte, Metro, and Real Plaza, evacuation protocols were activated after reports of minor ceiling collapses and falling products. The evacuation took place amid the nervousness of hundreds of customers searching for the exit while emergency alarms sounded. On the Costa Verde, one of the most vulnerable areas to seismic movements due to its proximity to cliffs, rock and landslides were recorded, prompting the preventive closure of access to beaches such as Barranquito, La Herradura, Los Delfines, and Agua Dulce. Fortunately, the Peruvian Navy ruled out the possibility of tsunami, as the event did not meet the characteristics necessary to generate a change in sea level. Jorge Chávez International Airport also activated its safety protocols. Although no structural damage was reported, flights were briefly delayed while routine inspections were conducted. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Transportation System continued operating, although advertising panels and light materials fell at some stations, forcing the temporary closure of certain access points as a precaution. The IGP explained that the earthquake was of tectonic origin and is part of the normal energy release process in the subduction zone off the Peruvian coast. The IGP's executive president emphasized that this event is not related to a major earthquake, and that its released energy is significantly lower compared to larger ones. In fact, to reach the energy of an 8.8 magnitude earthquake, like the one in Chile in 2010, more than 11,000 earthquakes like the one that occurred in Callao would be required. The oldest structures in Lima's historic center, such as quincha and adobe houses in areas like Barrios Altos, showed cracks after the earthquake. These buildings, many of them without seismic reinforcement, demonstrate the urgent need to review the condition of heritage properties still used as homes or businesses. Several residents indicated that they had never felt an earthquake of this magnitude so clearly in recent years. The experience also exposed weaknesses in evacuation and emergency response systems. Clear protocols were not followed in many offices, homes, and educational centers, and some people displayed ignorance about evacuation routes. Throughout the day, public services were gradually restored. The electrical and telecommunications grid, which had been temporarily out of service in some areas, was restored within hours. Municipal authorities also began inspecting infrastructure, such as bridges, schools, hospitals, and markets to ensure their operation and prevent further risks. Although a state of emergency was not declared, several districts in metropolitan Lima remained on alert for possible aftershocks. The population was advised to have emergency backpacks, identified evacuation routes, and remain calm in case of further earthquakes. At the close of the day, the IGP continued monitoring seismic activity in the region and assured that the event does not predict a major earthquake, although the possibility of further tremors cannot be completely ruled out. Therefore, it was recommended to remain vigilant and follow official channels to stay accurately informed.